Tarantula video. Go! Hey everybody, this is my P. murinus or OBT, orange bitey thing, orange baboon tarantula, P. terror, husbandry and care video. Now I've been actually asked for this video, which is really nice. I never really get asked for videos. So we'll go through a few things. Orange bitey things, or OBTs, they come from Africa. They're quite spread throughout Africa, and they're even on the island of Zanzibar, which should tell you something, which is they're very hardy, they're very forgiving to mistakes. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I was asked, how do I keep mine? Well, mine has about 5 inches of substrate. She has a burrow. She doesn't use said burrow. She's made her own little web tunnel here. I think you can just about see her leg. Let's zoom in. No, you can't see her leg today. That was just me. She usually sticks her little feet out there. She doesn't really use the rest of this yet. She has got a pond. And I was asked about these and how do I keep them. When I feed her, the food goes into the start of her burrow there as an offering to her. She usually always gets it. I have never had a problem feeding her. Even when she's little, I give her little W roach nymphs. She'd take those, no bother. When she's a sling, she'd get mealworms, same thing, no bother. When she's a juvenile, superworms, no bother. And waxworms, she would destroy those. She's great to watch. Unfortunately, she's an old world, and she's a little bit of a fossorial creature, a little bit of an arboreal creature, and a little bit of a terrestrial creature. And like most old worlds, she hides. If you let her hide, that's wonderful. That's all she wants to do, is get out of your way so you don't bother her and she doesn't bother you. If you don't give her enough stuff to hide in, that's when you'll get their famous behaviour of, I'll attack you, I'll attack everything you hold dear. Now she's got enrichment in form of, see all that moss she's built her lovely dirt curtains up with. She's also got all these sticks and obviously the entrance to her tunnel there. She's got all these leaf litter, pond, fake plants, all that good stuff, just so if she does decide to go out exploring, she's got somewhere to go. So that's how I keep my sub-adult going on adult OBT. Now they can grow up to 15 centimeters diagonal leg span. Mine is about 12 centimeters DLS, and I'll show you how big she was a year ago just in a second. Now this isn't a P. murinus, this is a Nanduchromatus, fantastic starter spider. But yeah, she was literally this big. Amazing or what? She's grown so big in a year. Maybe she's male. Maybe she's a he. Who knows? So, one of the questions I kept getting asked is, what kind of tarantula is a P. murinus? Oh, pardon my fingers. Is it terrestrial? Is it arboreal, or is it fossorial? The answer is it's all three. As you can see, it likes to climb up there, make webs, drag all its leaf litter, all its moss, everything it can up there, and makes gorgeous little web tunnels. As you can see under here, it's also made tunnels under there. So it's got a burrow under there if it ever wanted to use it. So it likes to climb, it likes to dig, which would make it arboreal and fossorial. And sometimes you see it out here on the cork bark log there, which would make it a little bit terrestrial. So it's about 33% of each. I'm not joking. The more you can provide for it in the way of enrichment and places to live, the happier it's going to be. And also, the bigger the enclosure you've got for it, the more room you have to work with it, the less chance it's going to run out and surprise you with on its back attacking. Because that's the next thing we need to cover. Is it is an old world. Its venom isn't scientifically potent. It isn't gonna send you to hospital with rotting tissue. However, it will bite. It's not like I don't know, a Grammostola pultra where you can put it on your hand and show it off on nice TikTok videos. It'll never do that. Some people will pick it up because they're lunatics. However, I wouldn't ever recommend it because it will bite first, run off later. If you back it into a corner, it's always going to get you. Right, so that's that aspect gone. But if you do your research, you get an OBT sling. It's the size of that chromatas I showed you. I'll show you a super little container you can whack them in. So here is a super little container I use to put slings in at the moment. It's got my LP sling in. He's malted really well. I'll have a little look in there. At the sling stage, I tend not to give them a water dish. I said, gosh, that's really dry. I literally watered that a day ago. That's what the lichen's for. The lichen absorbs all that water and he can go get some more. We'll water him in a second. I'm not ashamed to say I didn't realise it dried out that quickly. But yeah, something like that with tiny little holes. And what's cool is with the OBT, you can put little sticks and stuff everywhere for him or her, and she will come along, she'll web those up. Like all that lichen, she would go in there, that would be everywhere, and there'd be these gorgeous little tunnels like it in her enclosure there. Oh, I can see little peeps. She'd web it all up, there'd be little tunnels everywhere. She would be on top of them or under them. It's really fun to watch, and it's really fun to watch her build them too. And her feeding response is amazing. So that's how I keep my slings until she is... I kept doing that until she was a juvenile. She took up a quarter, so... well, I don't need to show you what a quarter that is, you can tell. So once she took up a quarter of that, I thought, I don't really want to waste time rehoming her. From that to a Tupperware container, I shall show you a juvenile Tupperware container I've got. So this is my juvenile container, and in there somewhere under all that, as you can tell, there's a nice malted tarantula in there somewhere. I don't want to get that malt out yet. Simply put, she literally malted yesterday. It's a P. macula. So usually, like I said, I put my juveniles in something like this. It's just an old sweetie container. It does really well. As you can see on this, it actually holds the water. We've got some moss to help keep that moisture up, because they are the Pamphibidiuses I've got in here are a moisture dependent species. So again, that's great for them. Keeps that moisture in there. But that's, as you can see, I'll put my hand there. That's generally what I keep my juveniles in. That's generally what I put my adults in. That's what my Grammostola polka creeps is in. The little vials is what I keep usually my slings in, like I said, apart from my OBT. So I moved my OBT from the small little sling vial. As you can see, the Gramstella is still molting in there. She hasn't come out of barrel yet. So I'm going to do it straight from that smallish container. I would have used something like that, but unfortunately when they're little they can get out these holes, so that isn't ideal. So you could use that, cover these holes up with something, but then you're losing moisture. So I moved it straight from that into there, and she's only tiny, but she's molted. And she's already 10 centimetres because she ate that bloody much. Like I said, care requirements, they're hardy. They're going to forgive your mistakes. So, like there, for instance, she'd got all her water out because she's just molted. She's drinking a lot. So if I hadn't filled that up for another week, she might have died. Her, you could not fill it up for another week. She'll be fine. She really would. Nothing much bothers them apart from us poking around their enclosures to see how they're doing. I bet you're bored of that picture now. I'll turn the camera around if I can. No, I can't. Oh well, I'll show you more teas. So that's the Pterinochilus. They're really fun. If you do your research, I would honestly say you can keep them as a first tarantula, but only if you do your research and you recognise their need for space, their need for being left alone. That they have 3 modes, obviously. They need space horizontally, they need space vertically, and they need space to dig in. Once they've got all these 3 things, they're fine. They're just like any other old world. They're not going to come out, they're not going to deliberately try and attack you unless you're in their territory. You're in their territory, that's your fault. You should not be bothering them. PSA over. I hope you like this video. If you need any more information, let me know. Heat wise, as long as you're comfortable. I would say if it's going under temper, a heater in your 10 degrees C, that is, not Fahrenheit. 10 degrees C, put a heater in your room. Try and keep it above 15. They are hardy species found throughout Africa, so that's anyway from 40 degrees C down to -3 at night. But you don't want to keep stressing them with low or extremely high temperatures. That's all. Bye.